Lit, great. Excited for Houston. Yeah. Who's going to Houston? Drop some sevens if you're going to Houston. Let's go. Everybody here should be going to Houston. It's going to be fire. I'm excited. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I see that the lines are still packing out. We got more people jumping on as I speak. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this thing kicked off. Let me close that out. Start the recording. Okay, cool. So I'm excited, guys. Quick question. Who here was on the call that Chairman Ten, Rico, and myself did last night? Let me know on the chat below who here was on that call last night. Let me know in the chat. All right, because we went over some really powerful stuff. We spoke about so much. And honestly, I firmly believe that we really gave you guys the necessary philosophies, the necessary information for you to go back and not only apply, but, duplicate. In this business, we always talk about duplication. What matters in the business is not what you can do for yourself, but what you can more or less do for other people, right? Can you really put other people in a position to win? Do you possess the ability to put people in your organization, right, in positions to win, right? It's extremely important because I've seen both sides of the coin where, we'll have P600s, P1000s, P2000s, right? Even P5000s that will get on calls to elevate their growth. But guess what? They don't duplicate what they're learning throughout their organization. And I always talk about the importance of moving as a unit, right? How many people here, who here on the call understands the acronym for team? Can somebody tell me what the acronym for team is on the chat, right? Everybody on this call should understand what the acronym for team is. When we talk about unity, when we talk about coming together and elevating each other, right? Because you got to understand something, ladies and gentlemen, that in network marketing, I don't care what you've heard or if anybody's told you otherwise, how many people on the call really do believe and understand that this is a push and pull business, right? Everybody here, hopefully you've heard that, right? Everybody understands that network marketing is a push and pull business. What does that mean? It means that if I'm not consistently working, okay, on pulling you with me as I'm being pushed to elevate by my mentors, if I'm not pulling you with me, okay, then we're not going to get very far. I'm not going to get very far. It's a push and pull business, right? We got to help each other, push and pull, right? I push you to become a better version of yourself, right? You push me to become a better mentor. You push me to become a better leader. You push me to become a better, a better entrepreneur. But I pull you with me as I have my success, as I have the results that I want, right? Network marketing is a push and pull business. Together, everyone achieves more, right? Extremely important. If you missed it, time difference, I know, Mercy, it's okay. But here's what we're gonna do on this call. I'm gonna go ahead, listen, this is not a trading call. I'm not here to pull up charts. I'm not here to call out signals. The company takes care of that already. So I'm not here to do that. What I'm here to do on this call is I'm here to help you guys develop the necessary skills to be able to build a massive organization. Right now, my business partner and I, our organization just scratched 650 students within the academy, and we're still consistently growing every single day, every single hour, every single minute, right? Why? Because we consistently focus on feeding back the field, like giving back value and teaching people how to actually develop the skills that can pay the bills, right? And I always say, listen, the more skills you possess in network marketing, the more skills that you have, the more money you're gonna make. Does everybody here understand that? Type a 7 if you understand that the more skills that you possess in this profession, the more money you're going to make. Do you guys realize that? Do you understand that? Do you believe that? Right? Network marketing is a game of skill. He or she who possesses the most skills make the most money, right? Just like when you're at work, when you work a job, guess what? The person with the most skills, the person that does more than what they're asked for, will later on be rewarded with compensation, right? You get paid more, you get a pay raise because you possess more skills. You do more than what you're asked. In network marketing, it's the same thing. You do more than what's asked of you, right? You learn as many skills as possible, you make more money. So to kind of not drag along the introduction of this call, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about developing a bulletproof mindset. If you're taking notes, I always say note takers are money makers, right? Take notes. If you guys are not taking notes, then that just shows how not committed you really are into the business. And I'm keeping it real with you guys, right? Because one thing I always talk about is transparency, authenticity, right? So developing a bulletproof champion mindset. How many people on this call want to be champions, right? Well, because champions never lose. Champions never lose. Champions learn from lessons, right? They have lessons. Champions experience different moments of adversity, right? And just like any other human being, but champions, one thing that champions do is champions adjust, right? Especially in times of adversity, champions adjust. So I'm here on this call to teach you guys how to develop a bulletproof mindset, how to develop a champion mindset. What are the necessary philosophies that you need to have be successful in network marketing? What are the necessary skill sets that you need to have success in network marketing, right? Everybody here should be familiar with Jim Rohn. How many people here have actually studied, not just Googled or YouTubed? How many people here have studied Jim Rohn, right? Jim Rohn. If you're on this call right now and this is the very first time that you're hearing about Jim Rohn, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make an assumption that you just signed up maybe a few hours ago. So that's acceptable, right? That's acceptable. But if you've been in the business for more than a day or two and you've never heard of Jim Rohn, listen, something's going on. Something's wrong there, right? So if you have studied Jim Rohn, then you understand that Jim Rohn talks a lot about philosophies. He literally talked in his story how he became a millionaire by the age of 25. He talks about how he did it, the philosophies that he had to cultivate in order to have that kind of success. So that's what we're going to do on this call. We're going to talk about some of the philosophies that you need to develop, that you need to cultivate, that are going to help you build the necessary skills that we're going to talk about on this call. What skills should you possess in network marketing so you can make more money? Because essentially that's what we're doing here, right? We're here to, yes, impact the masses. We're here to create leaders. We're here to change lives, right? But a byproduct of it is making more money. And the reality is the more money that we have, guess what? The more that we can provide for other people, the more that we can do for our organizations, the more that we can do for our loved ones, right? But it all stems from your philosophies. It all stems from your mindset. So I'm going to kind of refresh the people that were on the call, right? I'm going to go over the beginning of my training. I spoke about this on yesterday's call. If you've heard me already talk about this last night, good. Sometimes it's good for us to hear it again, right? It's a scientific fact that we only retain about 40% of what we hear, right? 20% of what we read. So hearing this information more than once, it's for your benefit, not so much mine, right? So let's start with stating the obvious, right? What did I say about rich people for the people that were on the call yesterday? What did I say is the separation between rich people and poor people? Can somebody remind me on the chat, what is the separation between the rich and the poor? And for those of you who weren't on the call last night, you're more than welcome to take a guess. Somebody can tell me on the chat if you were paying attention to yesterday's call, right? Okay, so here we go. First fun fact, you want to write this down. The separation, okay, the separation between the rich and the poor is that rich people have a big library, while poor people have a big TV. How many times have you guys walked into your friend's house, your best friend's house, your boyfriend, girlfriend's house, and they'll talk about, I want to do this business, I want to get into real estate, blah, blah, blah. All they do is talk, talk, talk. But then next thing you know, the conversation switches and it says, hey, let's watch the game. Or, hey, you know, there's a new episode of Friends or whatever, right? There you go. Rich people have a big library. Poor people have a big TV. Here's another one. Fun fact, right? Rich people educate themselves. Poor people entertain themselves. There's a very big difference. There's a fine line, and most people fail to really understand this because it's, I know as simple as it sounds, you might be listening to this right now and you're like, well, that's the obvious. Well, believe it or not, there are people that are in the company that will understand, that hear the concept, but they don't understand the concept. Because they might be getting on the calls like this. They might be going to the events like Houston. They might be, you know, giving credit for the rank ups in their team. But guess what? They're still surrounding themselves with the same broke, busted, and disgusted people. They're still surrounding themselves with people that like to play video games all day, right? And we all know at least one person in our lives, okay, that might be inside or outside of this business, and all they do is just talk, 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 but they never surround themselves with the right people. They never take the initiative to educate themselves. See, the fact that you, ladies and gentlemen, are on this call right now, it shows that you want to what? Be rich, right? And what do we always say? What's the acronym for rich? If you didn't know this, here you go. RICH, residual income creates happiness, right? Residual income creates happiness. Rich. What is poor? POOR, passing over opportunities repeatedly, right? The call was promoted all day long today. Guess what? There's about 37 people on the call. That means that the 37 people that are on the call were meant to be on this call to educate themselves to become rich. While everybody else who found excuses not to be on the call were just not meant to be on the call. It's just the reality. Now let's talk about the definition of a philosophy, because a lot of people don't really understand what does it mean to have a proper philosophy. The philosophies, okay, your philosophy, your personal philosophy is what governs the things that you do in your life. That's what your personal philosophy is, are the things that govern what we do in our lives. So I want you to understand that a philosophy is like a filter, right? They process information that goes through the filter and they determine how we act. So here's a good one, right? Here's a philosophy that most people live by. And you guys can finish the sentence for me, right? What do most people say? Money doesn't what? Money doesn't grow on, somebody finish that. Money doesn't grow on what? Trees, right? That's a philosophy. That is someone's philosophy. That's somebody's mind. That's someone's reality. But here's the interesting thing about that philosophy, right? The very same people who say money doesn't grow on trees, what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you go by that philosophy, you're actually repelling money rather than attracting it. I'm going to say that one more time. When you believe in that philosophy, when you carry that type of philosophy, what you're doing is you're actually repelling money rather than attracting it. And my mentor always said to me, he said, Josh, if you want to fail, follow the masses. That's another philosophy, right? If you want to fail, follow the masses. However, if people around you think that you're crazy for doing what you're doing, then you're probably doing something right. Right? Because the reality is this, ladies and gentlemen, people, at the end of the day, people don't know what they don't know. And sometimes when people don't know what they don't know, it's okay. But guess what most people are doing? Most people, they're going to work, punching the clock, they're trading time for money. So that's why I say, if you want to fail, follow the masses. Because what are the masses doing? They're living paycheck to paycheck. The masses are programmed, right? Does everybody here, how many people on this call, maybe you heard this from yesterday's call or prior, you understand 14,000, the 14,000 hour rule? How many people heard of that? How many people understand the 14,000 hour rule? I spoke about this on yesterday's call. If you've heard me talk about this, right? Yes, Edwin, there you go, right? If you heard me talk about this, type a 3 on the chat. The 14,000 hours, what happens is from the age, and this is a proven fact. This is a scientific fact. It's proven. Look it up yourself. From the age of kindergarten to the 12th grade, we are programmed to be average. Did you guys know that? From the age of, from kindergarten, from where you start in kindergarten to the 12th grade, you have gone through 14,000 hours of being programmed to be average. But here's the reality, ladies and gentlemen, that you and I were born as champions. We're born being champions. We're born relentless. Look at a child when they're born, for example. When a child is born, a child is going to get whatever they want, and they're going to be relentless about it. But somewhere along the line, the child is tamed. Because what do we often hear as we get older? What word do we hear as we get older? And that causes us to, have a smaller belief level. It causes us to think that certain things are wrong to do, that, we always used to hear, don't talk to strangers, don't get in a car with strangers, right? We're often heard the word no. Okay? So what happens is somewhere along the line is society tames us, and that's why we need to get trained. That's why we need to have calls like this, right? So for 14,000 hours, we're told to what? Go to school, to study hard, to get good grades, to graduate, to get a high-paying job. See, if somebody told you for 14,000 hours that you were ugly, most of you would believe that you're ugly, right? The most beautiful people in the world, even the most beautiful people in the world, would believe that they're ugly if they were told for 14,000 hours that they're ugly. See, here's your reality, right? Here's the reality. If you go to work for somebody else, right, and you punch a clock, you got a great chance at being broke. Yeah, do y'all understand that? You've got a great chance at being broke. You've got a great chance about living a box life in a box world. Right? Now, what does that mean? And yeah, Camilo, there you go. If someone called you John 14,000 times, you'd start to believe your name is really John. Call me crazy. Go ahead. Call somebody John for 10,000 times. See what happens, right? Now, how many people understand and I spoke about this on yesterday's call too, how many people understand what a box life in a box world is? I want you to type a 7 on the chat if you heard me talk about this on yesterday's call. How many understand the box concept, right? Living a box life in a box world. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that people, okay, now I want you to pay attention to this. I want you to really listen to this, because this right here is what completely changed my paradigm. This is the way that I optimize for my business, is mindset. Building, cultivating a bulletproof mindset. People, I want you to take notes. People that live in a box life, okay, in a box world. What does that mean? They sleep in a box-shaped bed inside of a box house, where they get up in a hurry and they eat out of their box cereal. Then they get into their car, in their box car, to drive to their box building that they call a job, right? J-O-B, right? Sometimes we like to refer to that as journey of the broke, or just, jumping out of bed, or just over broke, whatever the case may be, right? Whatever, right? But they work out of their box cubicle, out of their box computer, okay, type in their box, small little boxes, to drive back to their box home, to watch their box television, and to watch the news. And can somebody tell me on the call, what's on the news, guys? Can somebody tell me on the call, what is on the news? 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, what do you see on the news? Is it something positive or is it something negative? Right? It's nothing but negative stuff. The news is the only place that says good evening, okay, and then they actually proceed to tell you why it's not so good. Makes no sense. Right? When you turn on the news, it's the only place that says good evening, and then they proceed to tell you why it's not so good. It's nothing but negative information. And guess what happens? That negative information enters your subconscious mind and it creates your reality. Right? Who does that stuff? The masses. That's why we say if you want to fail, follow the masses. If you want an average life, follow the masses. Now, I don't know about you guys on this call listening to me right now. For the ones that are actually paying attention, I don't know about you, but I don't want an average life. I don't want an average car. I don't want an average spouse. I don't want an average house. I don't want an average I don't want an average life. I don't want to watch an average movie. I don't. Like, can you imagine for a second, right? And I gave this example yesterday. Can you imagine going to the movie theater and you hear a commercial, right, in the movies? In theaters this weekend, we have the most incredible, amazing, average movie with average actors, an average plot, average acting in an average size theater. We can't wait to see you there. How many people would pay to go see that movie? I don't know about you guys, I would not pay $13 to $14 to go see that movie. I'm not. I wouldn't do that. So this goes back to the first point I mentioned on this call. Rich people educate themselves, ladies and gentlemen. Poor people entertain themselves. Now here's the question. Here's the question that you should all be asking yourselves right now. What is the difference that makes a difference? What is the difference that makes a difference? The difference that makes a difference is who you hang out with and the books that you read. Those are the two things that are going to dictate where you're going to be in this industry, in this company in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, is the people you hang out with and the books you read, guys. Somebody said to me a long time ago, right? And this is definitely somebody with a broke mindset, but somebody said to me a long time ago, they said, Josh, being an entrepreneur is hard. Building a network marketing business is hard. Plugging into the calls is hard. Making time for events is hard. No, let me tell you what's hard. Being broke and being average is hard. This is easy. It takes time, but it's easy. Now, here's another reality, right? Most people don't think about this. Here's another reality. Not everybody's going to be as excited as you are for this opportunity. Whether you realize this or not, whether you've experienced this or not everybody is going to be as excited as you for the opportunity. Because here's another reality, right? The other reality is that you've got to get trained and learn some skills. Like I spoke about at the beginning of the call. You got to learn some fundamentals. You got to learn how to invite people properly. You got to learn how to present. You got to learn how to follow up. You got to learn how to run through numbers. People are going to come into the business. People are going to quit. It's normal. It happens. It's the business. It's the nature of the business. That's why we stay in phase 1. Everybody here understands phase 1, why it's important to be in phase 1, right? You're going to get negative people, and that's fine. Most of the negative people that you're going to get already have a negative bank account, so it's completely okay. There's a reason why they're negative to begin with. But at some point, and I want you to remember this, at some point, somebody is going to say the words, I told you so. Either it's going to be you saying those words, or it's going to be somebody that you know saying it to you because you quit. The decision is for you guys to make. Right? I used to have people tell me when I first started network marketing, right? I've been in network marketing for 6 years. I started when I was 19 years old, fresh out of high school, right? I'm going to trade school. I got my certification. I'm studying telecommunications and networking. And my first week of college, community college, I drop out. I remember going home and I told my father, I said, Dad, I don't want to continue to go to school. I want to try this trading thing. I want to get into network marketing. My dad said, I don't know what that is, and I don't even care to know. If you don't go back to school, you better find a new place to live. And I said, damn. So you want me to do what the masses do? What did we just say about the masses, right? So what I had to do is I had to put my big boy pants on, and I said to my father, I said, listen, give me a year. Give me 1 year. And if I don't do what I say I'm set out to do, I'll do whatever you, mom and mom want me to do, right? But just give me 1 year. What did my father do? He said, all right, 1 year. And you know what's crazy is he actually kept track. 12 months go by and my father said, so how much money are you making? I said, I'm only making $600 a month. He said, okay, well, it doesn't work. And I said, Dad, I never said I was going to be a millionaire in a year. I said, give me a year to get results. I'm making $600 a month. It's not a lot of money, but it's results. Give me another year. I'm going to keep working harder. Another year goes by. I become a corporate trader for my former company. Right? So now at this point, I'm paying my mom and dad's bills. I'm doing about $8,000 a month, making income from trading for the company that I was with, plus residual income. I was in a whole different state of mind. And I said to mom and dad, I said, Mom and Dad, I said, guys, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm not doing this for you, but I'm doing this for you. How many people understand that? Like, I'm doing this for you, but I'm not doing this for you. Like, I'm doing this for you in a sense of I'm busting my butt in this profession to make sure you're taken care of. But I'm not doing this for you in a sense of if you're going to try to talk me out of my dreams, I'm not going to do that for you. I'm not going to quit the business for you. I'm not going to give up on my dreams for you. I'm not going to take my credit card off file for you. I'm not going to do that for you. So y'all understand what I mean when I say I'm doing this for you, but I'm not doing this for you. Right? Y'all got to listen to that, understand that, because you're going to experience a lot of negative Nancy's in the business. And believe it or not, a lot of them are going to come from the closest people in your life. Year 3, the story doesn't end there. It actually it takes a crazy turn. Year 3, I lose all my income. My income drops by 75% over a month. I lose my position as a corporate trader. Right? And my business, my network marketing business collapses. I lose my income. Now, at that time, you know, I obviously didn't have the mindset I have now. So what did I do? I pointed the fingers at everybody else. Here's another philosophy, right? Whenever you point a finger at someone or something, there's always 3 fingers being pointed right back at you. Whenever you point a finger at someone or something, there is always 3 fingers being pointed back at you. So the philosophy is take responsibility for your actions. Take responsibility for your actions. Right? So I used to have people, when I first started network marketing, including my parents, I used to have people say, Josh, they're brainwashing you, man. Like, they're don't you see? They're brainwashing you. I used to say, good, great. I needed a good brainwash. I'm broke. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of working for Applebee's. I'm tired cutting my finger every other day working at cutting vegetables. I'm tired of burning myself cleaning the damn fryer every Friday night. Good. I needed a brainwash because I'm broke. What I'm doing right now is not working. Besides, let's be honest with each other. Right? If you can agree with what I'm about to say, I want you to type a 7 on the chat. I'd rather be brainwashed by a millionaire than be brainwashed by the same broke, busted, and disgusted people in my life. I'd rather be brainwashed by a millionaire. Show me how to do what you're doing to get what you have. That's the reality. Now, here's the next reality, right? Because we're going to touch a little bit on the skills, and we're going to touch a little bit more on philosophies. I hope you guys are getting value on the call. If you're getting value on the call, just do me a favor. type value on the chat if you guys are actually receiving value on the call and you're understanding what it is that I'm trying to teach you guys. Because I always say, listen, a highly trained team is a highly paid team, right? I'm sure we could all agree on that, right? If you agree with that statement, type value on the chat. A highly trained team is a highly paid team, right? Now, here's another reality. When you're building this business, when you're building a network marketing business, we're looking for a certain group of people, right? And I don't care what your mentor said. I don't care if they said otherwise. I don't care. No, we go for everybody. Listen to me. We're looking for a certain type of people. Now, that's not to say not everybody deserves the opportunity, right? But I want you to pay attention to this, okay? There's different groups of people in the world that are going to join your business, and they're not going to join your business. Okay, but you need to be able to identify the difference. You've got the 27 percenters, 60 percenters, 10 percenters, and the 3 percenters. Who was on last night's call and can tell me what are the 27 percenters? Who are the 27 percenters? Can somebody tell me on the chat, if you were on the call last night, you were paying attention, what are the 27 percenters? Who are the 27 percenters? Right? Here's what I said. And I want you to take notes if you didn't take notes yesterday. 27 percenters are the not motivatable people. They can't be motivated. No matter what you say, no matter how much money you make, no matter what car you're pulling out of the dealership, no matter what kind of shoes you're buying, no matter what you do, 27% of people are not motivatable. And you know what's interesting? A lot of those people are friends. Sometimes they're family members. Sometimes they're people that we grow up with. But they're not motivatable. I'm sorry. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, they're not going to join your business. I'm a six-figure earner in network marketing, and guess what? I have friends that I went to high school with that are still not wanting to join my business. It's okay. It's completely fine. We need janitors. We need people to clean the floors. We need people to work as waiters. We need people to, clean bathrooms. Like, that's fine, to each their own, right? Now we got 60 percenters. Now, here, before I move forward, here's the good news, right? For everybody on the call. Nobody on the call here is a 27 percenter. That's good, because now you know that you're not a 27 percenter. How do I know that? How does Josh know if he's never spoken to me before or any of that? I know you're not a 27 percenter because you're on this call right now. Now we got 60 percenters. Who are the 60 percenters? Those are the motivatable ones. They see something and they get excited, right? They're open-minded, right? They easily get excited, but pay attention to this. They easily get excited, but they easily get distracted. They easily get discouraged. They have a good attitude as long as things are going their way. Those are the 60 percenters, right? Those are the motivatable ones. They see something, they get excited, right? They got an open mindset, but they're only excited when things are going their way. And as easily as it is for them to get excited, they get distracted and they get discouraged. Oh, 3 people quit my business, they get discouraged. Oh, I'm stuck at my rank, they get discouraged, right? Oh, 5 people quit the business this week, they get discouraged. Those are the 60%. See, what I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to understand is that champions, okay, if you want to be a champion, champions have a great attitude no matter what. 60 percenters only have a good attitude when things are going their way, right? Champions have a great attitude no matter what. And I say that to say this. In network marketing, you have to cultivate a great attitude. How do I cultivate a great attitude, Josh? I'm glad you asked, right? When you're not where you want to be grateful. When you experience setbacks, be grateful. When you're facing adversity, be grateful. Oh, 5 people quit my business this week. Thank God, because those 5 people were holding me back from getting to my next goal. I know that the next 5 that come in are going to help me hit my next rank. And in return, I'm going to help them hit their next rank, right? Cultivate a great attitude. See, when things don't go your way, you have to decide, you have to make the decision and say, I'm gonna be a champion. I'm gonna have a great attitude. There's always something to be grateful for. There's always a learning lesson, right? Now, the 10 percenters. Let's talk about the 10 percenters. The 10 percenters, for those of you taking notes, the 10 percenters are the self-motivated people. They have a great attitude no matter what. They show up to events, they show up to the trainings, they show up to the conference calls. They want to reach financial freedom. That's a 10 percenter. You don't need to motivate a 10 percenter. They're already motivated. So if you're a 60 percenter, okay, you're on this call, the books that you read, the people you hang out with, the events that you attend, the actions you take are going to help you guys become a 10 percenter. Why do you want to be a 10 percenter? Well, here's the reality, another reality. 10 percenters make more money than 60 percenters, right? Now let's talk about the 3 percenters. This is where it gets exciting. Yeah, Calvin, you were on the call last night. The 3 percenters, ladies and gentlemen, are the motivators. Not only are they self-motivated, but they inspire other people to become self-motivated. They inspire 60 percenters to become 10 percenters and 10 percenters to become 3 percenters. They are the ones that get other people to believe in themselves when otherwise they would not believe in themselves. See, here's the reality. When you become a 3 percenter, it is inevitable. It is inevitable. You are going to become a 6- and 7-figure earner in your profession. You're going to reach the goals that you set out to reach. Why? Because you are a 3 percenter. But here's the truth. Only 3 out of 100 people fall in that bracket. Only 3 out of 100 people fall in that bracket. Here's another good news. Before you get depressed, here's good news, right? 3 percenters are not born, they're created. What does that mean? It means that right now on this call, as I'm speaking to you, okay, on this call, you can actually make the conscious decision right now that you are a 3 percenter. Not that you're gonna be one, but that you already are a 3 percenter. And if that's you, type it on the chat. I am a 3 percenter. I am so happy and grateful that I am, not that now I am. I am so happy and grateful that I am a 3 percenter. If you're a 3 percenter, type it on the chat. Because here's the reality, right? Here's the reality. I'm going to be real with you guys. And I always say, listen, if I say something and you feel a sting, if you get offended, or if I say something and you kind of feel some type of way, listen. You know, I always tell people, look, I'm not the person that will tell you what you want to hear. I'm the person that tells you what you need to hear. And if what I say to you guys makes you feel some type of way, that means that there's a cut. You have some sort of a cut, whether it's an emotional cut, a psychological cut, a mental cut, a spiritual cut. I might say something that might sting you, but it's the purpose of what I say is to help you heal. The purpose of what I say is to help you grow. The purpose of what I say is to help you go out there, take all out massive action, and become a 3 percenter. The reality is this: if you were able to get the things that you wanted, being the person that you are right now, you'd already have them. Is it true? So what does that mean? Why do I say that? The moral, the purpose of me saying that, stating that reality, is that in order for you to have massive success, in order for you to become a 3 percenter, aside from making the decision, you have to evolve. You have to make a decision that when you leave the old person, okay, and you don't wait for the new year, you do it right now. Do it now. If you don't have a notepad, go out right now and get a notepad. Make the decision right now to become a 3 percenter. How many people on this call have actually seen the movie Rocky? How many people on the call have seen the movie Rocky? Rocky 3. Right? When Rocky fought Clubber Lang, for the people that know boxing, right? In the movie Rocky 3, Rocky fought Clubber Lang, right? He fought Clubber Lang and he lost the first fight. And then what happens is you see the scene where he's training again for a rematch, right? And he's scared. He doesn't know if he's going to beat him. So now he's running against Apollo. And then Apollo actually beats Rocky, right? You guys remember that, right? He's running against Apollo, and then Apollo beats him. And then Apollo realizes that Rocky's not even trying. So Apollo turns at Rocky and he says, "What's wrong, Rock?" And Rocky says, "Tomorrow." He doesn't say anything else. He just says, "Tomorrow." That tomorrow he'll work out harder. That tomorrow he'll take it more seriously. And Apollo, then you guys it cuts to the scene, and it says the scene where Apollo screams at Rocky, and he says, "There is no tomorrow." All right, you guys watch. If you watch the scene, you actually hear the echo, right? Where he says, "There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow." Do you know why? Because the only thing that exists is now. And champions understand that. You see, when tomorrow comes, tomorrow is coming now. Champions don't wait. They take action. They just take action. If something is worth doing, it's worth doing right now. Do it now. Oh, I'm going to message 150 people tomorrow. No, do it now. I'm going to follow up with that person on Friday. No, do it now. I'm going to fund my trading account when I get paid. No, do it now. Champions take action. If it's worth doing, then they do it right now. If you don't have a notepad, go get one right now and start taking notes. Start being a champion, man. So many people are like, they complain. They're wimps. Stop being a wimp. Oh, I can't get a sign up. Stop being a wimp. Stop being an excuse maker. Stop being a procrastinator. Next week, I'll pay my membership. Next month, stop it. Because procrastination is the cornerstone of poverty. I'm going to say that one more time. Procrastination is the cornerstone of poverty. Be a champion, man. Be relentless. Make a decision. You guys have to make a decision in this business. Aren't you sick and tired of seeing everybody else win but you? Aren't you sick and tired of watching everybody else rank up but you? Aren't you sick and tired of watching everybody else hit a six-figure trading account but you? Aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Be a champion. Make the decision. Be relentless. Here's the reality. Another reality. Remember this. The person that you want to be is 6 inches away from you. And guess what? If you didn't know this, those 6 inches are in between your 2 ears. So get fired up. Don't wait for people to get you motivated. Get yourself motivated, man. Don't wait for people to get you fired up. If your mentor and your upline has to get you excited for you to get out of bed and go make a conscious effort to grow your business, that means that you like being pampered. That means that you're not going to go chairman because you're relying on somebody else to get you there. What happens if your upline quits the business? What happens if your upline doesn't show up? Are you going to stop grinding for your family? Are you going to stop grinding for your kids, for your future? So you're telling me that your success is predicated off of someone else's results. Is that what you're telling me? You're telling me that you can't be successful because your mentor is not reaching out to you. Who gives? You better learn how to get your damn self motivated every day. I used to tell my mentor, I used to say when I was working for Applebee's and I left my job, every time I left my job, I clocked out. On my way home, I would call my mentor at the time, right? He's no longer around, but I called him at the time, and I always used to tell him, I used to say, hey man, I got bills to pay. I got my membership coming up. I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. He said, you better figure it out, boy. You better figure it out. Get your damn self excited. Because let me tell you something, and here's a news flash for the people that are in this business, that are on this call. If you didn't already know this, or maybe you forgot, you're a part of a company that is giving you access to a $187 billion per year industry. And you have access to a $6 trillion a day market. What does that mean? It means the chances of you becoming a 6 and 7 figure earner are very much possible. They're very much possible. So don't wait for your upline. Don't wait for your mentor to get you excited. It's your success is predicated off of your actions. Your actions are predicated from they come from the decisions that you make. The decisions that you make come from the philosophies that you possess. It all stems from your philosophy. Don't wait for people. Make the decision. Be a champion. Here's a reality, right? Another reality. Champions are not created in the ring. For the people that watch boxing, or you guys watch any other sport, champions are not created in the ring. They're just recognized there. The champions were motivated at 4 a.m. when they were in the 4 in the morning, when they got up and ran 5 miles, right? And then they got to the gym and worked every single day. Champions are not created in the ring. They're just recognized there. Champions are created when they're doing the things that no one else see them doing. What are you going to do when you get off the call? That's my question to you guys. Are you going to prospect? Are you going to run a presentation? Are you going to follow up with the prospect? Are you going to read a book? Are you going to attend a training? What are you going to do when you get off the call? Now, I'm not yelling at you guys, right? I'm not screaming at you guys. I'm just really excited. I actually love you guys. I'm just passionate about what we do. I'm passionate about what we have, right? But again, champions are not created in the ring. They're just recognized there. See, while the champions were waking up at 4 in the morning every single day, running their 5 miles, going to the gym every single day, they put way more blood and sweat and tears in the gym than they did in the ring where they competed and won the world title. So get up and be a champion. Don't be a victim, be a victor. Don't be a victim, be a victor. I hate people, like, and I'm being real, like, I hate the people. I don't like the people that consider themselves a victim to everything that happens in their life. I cannot be around people like that. I can't. It is such a negative stigma in the air when you're around people that all they do is complain, complain, complain. What are the attributes of a victim? Let's talk about this, right? Because for you guys that don't know, what is the difference between a victim and a victor, right? Here's the 3 attributes. There's 3 attributes to a victim. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Is it okay if I keep going? You guys want me to keep going? We've been on here for an hour. You guys want me to keep going, or should we stop? Right? Okay. All right. So here we go. 3 attributes of a victim, right? Take notes on this, right? A victim does the following 3 things, right? And if this is you, hey, listen, I highly doubt it, but maybe you know somebody, right? But a victim, they blame everybody else for their circumstances. It's never their fault. They feel a sense of entitlement. No matter where they go, where they're placed on God's green earth, they always have a sense of entitlement. Like the world owes them something, right? They always blame. See, you guys don't want to do that. You don't want to blame, because when you blame, guess what? You're giving away your power. Don't point, and I said this before, don't point the finger, because when you point the finger, you got 3 more pointing back at you. Here's another attribute of a victim. Something else that victims do, right? People that consider themselves victims. They complain. They complain about everything. They're annoying. Stop being annoying, man. They complain about their job. They complain about their boss. They complain about their rank. They complain about the traffic. They complain about their parents. They complain about the economy. They're just negative, negative, negative. I call them neg bags, because all they do is just talk about negativity. Like, dude, if somebody is complaining about how miserable their life is, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to hang out with negative people. My life is too positive to hang around with negative people. You know, it's kind of interesting because some people, right? Some people are so dang negative that they'll walk into a dark room and develop. Does that make sense to you guys? Right? Some of you guys are going to catch that on your way home. Some of you guys are going to catch that before bed, right? But some people are just so dang negative that when they walk into a room, they develop. Because they're so negative. They're so negative. Some people are just so negative. You don't want to be around them. How many people here have heard of the quote? And if you've heard of the following quote, right? Type a 3 on the chat. If you want to change the people around you, you've got to change the people around you. If you want to change the people around you, you got to change the people around you. Right? You got to replace them. Some of you are in the business right now, right? You're in IM Mastery Academy, but guess what? When you're not doing any IPAs, when you're not in the trainings, when you're not at the events, when you're not trading, whatever the case is, guess what you're doing? You're hanging out with the same people that are actually holding you back from success. The same people that are not committed to helping you grow. You got to replace them. They're holding you back. And here's a third attribute, right, of a victim. They justify. They just love to justify everything they do. Every single thing they do, they justify it. Money isn't everything. Money changes people. Right? Victims have a habit of being negative. Unconsciously, that's what they need in their life, is to be negative. They don't know what they want to do. They just don't take responsibility for anything. Champions, however, champions take 100% responsibility for both the good or the bad, especially the bad. That's what champions do. So you got to ask yourself, am I a champion? How do I, and if you're not, if you're honest with yourself and you're not, listen, how do you, then you ask yourself the following question. How do I create a champion mindset? Step number 1, be aware of your actions. Be aware of your actions. Step number 2, analyze your reactions. Analyze your reactions. How are you reacting when things are happening? Especially when things that are not favorable are happening to you. See, my father always used to say, you can tell the size of a man by the size of the problem that gets him down. Right? You can tell the size of a man by the size of a problem that gets him down. So how are you reacting to things when they're not going your way? See, what a champion does is they find a mentor and they copy them. My mentors don't let anything get them down. My mentors go through adversity just like everyone else, but they go through adversity with a positive mental attitude, with a good attitude. That's why they're champions. So find a mentor and copy them. And I'll tell you guys another fun fact, right? In network marketing, in the network marketing industry, the industry that we're all in, there's a lot of mentors out there. There's a lot of mentors. In today's day and age, it's actually, compared to my mentors and the story I've heard from them, it is significantly easier to become successful nowadays. Why? Because there's so much information out there. I guarantee you guys, by the time you get off this call, there's going to be another training going on somewhere in the company. There's so much information out there. Now, what is another attribute of a champion? Champions get out of their comfort zone. See, how many people here on the call understand that everything that you want exists outside of your comfort zone? How many people understand that? Type a 7 on the chat. Everything that you want, absolutely everything that you desire, everything that you want in your life, in your business, in your income, in your bank account, everything that you want exists outside of your comfort zone. When I was a Platinum 1000, I was spending too much time playing Xbox. When I was a Platinum 1000, I was spending too much time driving Uber. When I was a Platinum 1000, I was spending too much time complaining as to why I'm stuck at my rank. I got rid of my Xbox, got rid of my excuses, started reading, started copying my mentors. And sure enough, now we're at Chairman 10. Here we are, just scratching the surface. We didn't even get started yet, right? So champions get out of their comfort zones. You got to say to yourself, I got to step out of my comfort zone. I got to show the plan. You got to prospect people. And here's the reality. People are going to quit the business. Like I said before, people will quit, and that's a part of the business. The people that got me to one rank will not be the same people that get me to the next rank. So when people quit your business, how's your attitude? That's my question to you. How is your attitude when people are quitting your business? See, most people, and here's a reality, right? Including chairmen. Most people are happy as long as they rank advance. As long as they're making money, they're happy. But what about when things don't go your way? You see, that's why you have to be careful with the people that you let in your circle. Because what do we always say? Your network equals your what? Your network equals your what? Somebody finish that on the chat. Let me know. Your network equals your network. What's your name? Right? So another thing that we have to be aware of, right? As you're building the business is you have to have the right skills. Remember, we talk about skills, right? You have to know the right things as far as how to be an entrepreneur, because that's what you are. You're an entrepreneur. You have to know success principles. Here's 3 success principles that I'm about to give you guys right now. Let's talk about the first one. Or let's mention all 3, right? You got OPI, OPE, and OPM. Again, 3 success principles in network marketing that a lot of people won't tell you about because they like to make all the money and they don't want to mentor their mentees. I'm giving you guys the what you're not going to often hear, right? OPI, OPE, OPM. Let's talk about OPI. Other people's ideas, right? The company that we're a part of, I Am Mastery Academy, right, was originally someone else's idea, right? The company that we're a part of was someone else's idea. So we actually get to go out there and we get to make as little or as much money as we want, which is a great concept. Because guess what? Chris Terry, he did the hardest part, right? The idea is usually the hardest part. This is why I say we have it easy. You just got to apply the work. Now, the second is OPE, other people's efforts, right? So with OPE in network marketing, you get to build a network, you get to invite as many people as you want, put as much energy as you want, and get other people involved in the business with your training, but you also get paid off of their efforts and their contacts. And your uplines also get to support you. So you actually benefit from their efforts as well. You see, successful people also use the word leverage. They use leverage, okay, for other people's efforts. They leverage other people's efforts to make money. It's how it is. Think of when you're working at a job. The manager, right, makes an income off your efforts. The store owner makes an income off everyone's efforts. The beautiful thing about network marketing and the industry that we're in is that we're in control of our efforts. And now we talk about OPM. Everybody here should be familiar with OPM, right? Somebody tell me, what does OPM stand for? Take a guess. Right? OPM, other people's money. What do the successful people do? Successful people are experts. Rich people are experts at using other people's money to make them more money. See, what if you were about to get started? I want you to think about this, right? Think about this for a second. I want you to envision this with me. What if you were about to get started, right? In I Am Mastery Academy, and you didn't have the money to get started. Guess what? Guess what? If you have a credit card, you can use the bank's money to get started in the academy. Then you get to work, follow the system, make that money back, pay your bank off, and you just started your business on your bank's money, on your bank's dollar. You see, there's good debt and there's bad debt, right? Everybody understands the difference between good debt and bad debt, right? If I'm investing in an asset that's going to pay me over and over and over again, and it's going to help me become a sharper person, a more confident person, which is what our profession does, which is what this company does, that's an asset to me. Okay, so here's a philosophy. The last philosophy I'll leave you guys off with for the night. The philosophy is this. We don't use people to build the business. We do not use people to build the business. We use this business to build people, to build champions. But you have to understand that the sacrifice has to be paid. You have to understand that. You see, most people that come into this business, they're not willing to put in the work that a chairman does. Why? Because they're not willing to work without pay. A champion understands that they have to make a sacrifice. Sacrifice comes before success. Just look at the dictionary. Even in the dictionary, sacrifice comes before success. You have to be willing to work without pay in order to get paid without work. I'm going to say that one more time. I really want that to click in your heads, right? You have to be willing to work without pay in order to get paid without work. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you were a Chairman 100 and you take a 1-month vacation to go wherever you want and do whatever you want with whoever you want? Can you imagine what life would be like? A 1-month vacation. Most people can't even take a 3-week vacation in a year. Can you imagine what that would be like? Can you emotionally feel what that'd be like? Can you picture it in your mind? Can you really see the vision? Right? You have to be willing to work without pay in order to get paid without work. That's the reality. That's the philosophy. So I'll leave you guys off with this. My challenge to everybody on this call is to work harder on yourself than you do at your job. Work harder on yourself than you do at your job. Work harder on yourself than you do with anything else. Focus on your growth. Learn the skills. Practice presenting. Follow up. Prospecting. Right? Train your people. Build champions. You build the people and the people will build the business. Right? So if you guys enjoyed this training, type some 7s on the chat. If you enjoyed the training, if you got value from the call, drop those 7s. Let me know. I hope that I got through at least one person on this call. What I said really clicked with you, and you're ready to, in the moment you get off this call, you're really ready to go all out, massive action. I am going to upload this training on YouTube, and I'm going to drop the link for you guys. But go out there, be the one, get it done, hit your goals, inspire others, train people, right? Train your team. A highly trained team is a highly paid team. And I love you guys. So everybody have a blessed night. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon.